Well, good evening, Queens. How are we doing? It is Saturday. It's not Saturday, it's Sunday. Sunday at 7, and it is time to gather. So while everyone is gathering, as you're coming in the room, um, we'll wait and give it a moment for everyone to get in the room. I am so looking forward to chatting this evening. Uh, it is Sunday. It is the last Sunday of September, if you can believe it. This is the last Sunday of September. And we are in the last quarter. We're getting ready to go into the last quarter of the year. So, uh, 2025 in a couple of blinks or two, it'll be over. We'll be marching into 2026. But if the Lord says the same, so let's not put the cart before the horse, but let's just deal with today. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are going to rejoice and be glad in it. So you know how it is when we get together. When you come in the room, drop your name, a chat, put something in the chat. Just let me know who's out there. Um, I can't see you. I can only see when you wave or say hello. So we'll just give it a minute or two for people to join. It's been such a beautiful day today. Um, So yeah, last week we talked about um, being anchored, accountability, and being anchored, and I shared with you that we are going to that I've created a study. Oh, hey, Miss Vivian, so glad you joined. Um, and so we're in the last quarter. We are about October 1 is the kickoff of the last quarter, the last 3 months of the year. And so all year we have, just at the beginning of the year, we set out goals and we talked about, what we wanted to accomplish and all those things. And here it is, we're in the last quarter of the year. And last week, and I believe the weekend before, it was probably the weekend before because I wasn't on last Sunday, but the weekend before, I was just talking or sharing. Have you picked up the goals? Have you dusted the piece of paper? Do you know where the piece of paper is that has written on there what it is? That you said you were going to accomplish this year. And so no judgment. I am you, and you are I. You are me. And so I'm speaking to myself. So I have come up with this 6 week um, journal. 6 weeks. We are going to, I'm so excited, y'all. I'm about to finish the cover this evening. That's one of my goals this evening is to finish the cover. And we're going to talk about these pillars. Remember the pillars that we're going to talk about over this 6 week study as it relates to accountability. It's health, it's money, it's prayer, meditation, the things that we say, what comes out of our mouth, those things. So, this 6 week devotion slash journal is done. I just need to put the cover on it. And so that's going to be our challenge. That's going to be our guide for 6 weeks as we walk towards the end of the year. And hey, Mama. And so when I tell you I'm excited, and so tonight what we're going to talk about really is just going to be the thing that springboards us through or to this 6 week challenge. And tonight we're going to talk about accountability in community. Because remember, we are in community. We are in community. We are not by ourselves. We're in community. I think about, like, well, Sherry, what do you mean by community? I'm talking about, uh, if you think about the community that you live in, the city that you live in, that's your community, your neighbors, your leaders, the people that you do life with, the people in your sphere, that is community. And so we all are in community. And as it relates to um, being accountable, accountability, what is accountability? It's a safe place for you to go, that other people help push you along. Um, they help refine you. They help to sharpen you. They help you to grow and develop. That's what accountability is. It's not just someone, cracking the whip at you and saying what you are, what you aren't. Accountability is, this is this thing that you want to accomplish, and how do I play a part in helping you move forward? Accountability, it's helping to hold you accountable or give account to the things that you said you wanted to do. And so that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. So if you have your Bibles handy or your phone handy, go to Hebrews 10, 24 and 25. I feel like we're in church. I don't mean it to be, but it's good to break bread together, is it not? And it's one thing for somebody to read something to you. It's a whole other thing when you can read it for yourself. So I want you to go to Hebrews 10 and 24. And I wish y'all was live with me because I would tell somebody to read. Uh, but since I got to be my own reader tonight, this is what it says, Hebrews 10, 24 and 25. And it says, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. So accountability cannot be done outside of community. We need one another, to help us walk out accountability, right? And so it's hard to be accountable to a person of one, because I will let myself off the hook. Can you remember a time when he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm gonna hold myself accountable." Well, you the biggest pushover that there is to you. To you, you can talk yourself something just as quick and easy as you can talk yourself into something. So accountability, when it's just one person, it's not as it's not as strong, right? It may not stick, right? But accountability within community, um, there's more of a chance, the likelihood of you reaching the goal or completing the thing is more likely to happen than if you were just accountable to yourself. So accountability is not about policing each other, it's about pursuing Christ together, just as Jesus modeled with his disciples. So that's as it relates to the Christian community, but just being accountable overall. um this is my grandson calling, and y'all know how I feel about my grandkids. So um, hold please. Okay. So so accountability, we do it together. So accountability in community, Galatians 6:2, it says, carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. So what Paul is really encouraging here is for believers to love each other in a very tangible way. Paul is he's saying, hey, together, being accountable to one another, we're going to carry each other's burdens, so that we can get the thing done, right? And so that's what accountability and community looks like. Um, the core elements in accountability within the community is transparency, it's consistency, it's encouragement, it's challenge, and it's celebration. So accountability is like the guardrails on a highway. It's not restricting, it's not restricting, but it's keeping us in line. It's keeping us moving in the same direction. We're not swerving, like a drunk driver here and there, one side to the other. When you're accountable within community and you are able to be transparent, it creates a safe place for you to be transparent in a safe community. It helps to keep you consistent. It's the community is the guardrails. It's like, hey, is this is what you're doing, is that helping you to accomplish what you said you wanted to do? Is that pushing you towards the goal? Right? And then there's encouragement. There's encouragement in the community. Um, and, we all have those times when we don't quite hit the mark and we have a meltdown, or we just want to throw up our hands and say, just forget the whole thing. But the community is there to rally around you, right? To hold you up and say, no, no, that's not what you're going to do. We're going to course correct, right? We're going to get our focus back in line, correct? And then you're going to move forward. Accountability in community is encouragement. Hey, Miss Wallace. And then accountability in community. Community is going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you uh, to be the best you. Accountability in community. When you are surrounded or when you are operating in community, it's your community, your support system. They are going to help you to be the best you. And so that means they're going to challenge. They're going to challenge you in the areas that that need you um to sharpen. Those areas going to pull out those things, those areas that you need to be aware of. Maybe something's in your blind spot that you can't see, but those surrounding you can see that, um, and and say, hey, I need you to step out of you and look at this thing. Um, I love what Vivian says. Please challenge me. And that is the purpose, or you won't grow. She's all in my notes over here. Challenge me so I can grow. If I don't see something from my, because it's in my blind spot, and you can see it, help me not to run into the thing that could potentially derail me. And I think sometimes when we set out on our goals, I'll speak for myself. I can think, in the past when I've set out to do things, and we have good intentions, but I don't lean into my community, then all kind of things happen. I get in my head, I talk myself out of it. If I hit a obstacle, and I just completely stop. I remember when I first joined Mary Kay years ago, and my director, she has since, she just passed away this year, Miss Martha. She passed away, but she always told me, Sherry, when you make up your mind and you get going, you have a goal. When you get going and something happens that derails you or distracts you, or a challenge comes up, you completely stop. And she and Miss Martha hadn't known me that long. I just met her coming into Mary Kay, but she pegged me right off the bat. I could have good momentum, but then when life happens, I don't know how to continue to push forward. I always stop. And so she was a part of my community at that time, and she was able to pull it to call it out, bring it to my attention, and then challenge me to move forward anyway. And that is what it looks like in community. And then celebration. You got to have someone there. You have to have community, a group of people there that get excited about the things that you accomplish and that can celebrate you. You've got to have it. It's one thing, yes, to celebrate yourself, but it is so much more important to have someone to recognize the hard work, recognize the pull, recognize the challenges, recognize the win, and not only recognize it, but celebrate with you, to run the victory lap with you. And I always say my mother is my biggest cheerleader. All her kids, period. We could peel an apple and you would think it's the best, that nobody else could have peeled the apple as great as you did, because she is her kids' biggest cheerleader. And in turn, I'm that same way with my grandkids. I don't care what they do. If they draw a straight line, that's the best straight line I've ever seen being drawn in all my days. And I'm gonna get out my pom poms and I'm gonna cheer the loudest. And so that's what being accountable in community looks like. Not only do they challenge you, but they celebrate the W's with you. And when the losses come, because we can't win all the time. Somebody's got to take the L. But even when the L goes up on the scoreboard, they are still there to say, hey, the L is up there. We acknowledge the L, but what's the wins, or what are the takeaways from the loss? So it's there, even in the defeats, even in the what we consider to be losses. The community is there to find out, okay, maybe you didn't win overall, but what areas did you win in? Accountability in community. And so over the next 6 weeks, starting next Sunday, hey, Miss Ramona, how are you? Over the next 6 weeks, as we begin to be accountable and anchored, we are going to, this is the community, this is the place where we're going to challenge you, and we're going to celebrate you, and we're going to be transparent, and it'll be the safe place for all of those things. And so why is accountability in community important? It's important because we were not created to walk alone. We were not created to walk alone. Even though Jesus was Jesus, he was not alone. He had 12 disciples. So if Jesus had a group to be accountable to, in addition to be, ultimately accountable to his Father. How different is it for you and I? Um, how is it different from you and I? And so in how did Jesus model accountability? Um, John 8:28 says, I do nothing on my own, but speak just what the Father has taught me. So even Jesus was accountable. He was accountable to God. And so while we are going to be accountable to one another, hey, Miss Dagny, even though we are going to be accountable to one another, we ultimately are accountable to God. Well, Sherry, what does that have to do with my goals and how I finish the end of the year? What does God have to do with that? He should have everything to do with it. He should have everything to do with it, because who we are and the goals attached to us, the things that we laid out at the beginning of the year, those and because we are God's queens, we are God's girlies, we should always be getting our guidance and our instructions for our everyday life from him. So we should not be separate from that. It shouldn't be it should not be separate from that. So our goals should always be aligned with with what God says and connected to our purpose, right? So we are first and foremost accountable to him. And so maybe the reason why we don't finish things and we fall off is because we've lost focus of who our ultimate accountability partner is. And that is Jesus Christ. He is our ultimate accountability partner. So just as Jesus was accountable to God, so are we. But he was also accountable with his disciples. And we, accountability in community, are accountable to the Father and then to one another. And so Jesus modeled that. He lived close. They saw his habits and they saw his miracles. And so when you are in community and you are being held accountable within community, guess what? You're in proximity of one another. We are in proximity of one another. Accountability does not work in distance. It's got to be in close proximity. It's got to be in or done through relationship. Jesus modeled that with the disciples. They lived together. They walked together. They interacted together. They saw what each other were doing. That's accountability in community. You need to see me moving. Good evening, Miss Brenda. You need to see me in action. You need to see me moving forward to the goals that I have shared, to the things that I have shared within community. You need to see me moving towards those things. And when you don't see me moving towards those things, then that's where the accountability comes in. But accountability through love. Hey, sis, you said, hey, I see you spending a whole lot of time over here. How is that helping you in your goal? You said you wanted to start being consistent in your walk, in your time with the Lord. But I'll be online a lot myself, and every time my light green, your light green. Late in the night, early in the morning. How's that Bible study time going? How's that devotion time going? Are you creating those rhythms? And it's in love. It's in love. We don't, I'm gonna not pick on Dagny, but Dagny is so good about that. If you tell her something about your goal, she's just gonna remind you. She's gonna tap you into where you at with that. Well, how's that going? And it's not in a beat up way, or the hot lens. It may feel like that if you're not on track, but it's not that way. That's accountability in community. um uh it's being able to the disciples together, they were able to ask questions of Jesus. They're walking, they're learning, they're growing, and they were able to ask questions. Accountability in community, when it's a safe community, allows you the freedom and the liberty to ask questions without fear of judgment or guilt, at all. And so write this scripture down, Matthew 16 and 15. Write that down, Matthew 16 and 15. It's being able to ask questions, to learn and to glean from one another. That's what accountability in community looks like. It says, "But what about you?" he asked. Who do you say that I am? And so Jesus he asked the questions. You see me, you seen what I'm doing, what I've done. Who do you say? That's right. It's both ways. It goes both ways. Jesus was accountable, and then the disciples. It's both ways. And that's where growth, that's where development happens. It happens in community. So, correction is necessary. It's accountability within community also opens the door for correction. And so let's put a pin in this right now. Correction isn't about the beat up. If anything, it's for the glow up. It's not for the beat down, the beat up, but it's for the glow up. When you correct me, when you see me going astray, if you don't have a community where you can get correction from, where somebody can tell you something in love, and it does not matter about age, but relationship. And is the person that is telling you, "Hey, sis, I see something. Your crown is crooked. Your crown is crooked. You need to get that together. You need to get that together." Accountability in community is a safe place for correction, because the correction is coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of love. And so, how I would want someone that cares about me to correct me than somebody out there that does not know me, does not care anything about me, and does not love me to correct me. Hey, Miss Lisa, welcome. Yeah. Community is where I expect to be corrected. If y'all see me out here, and I got toilet paper on my shoe, and y'all don't say nothing to me, y'all not my community, and y'all don't care nothing about me, because you got me out here looking any kind of way. That's not good accountability, and it's not good community. And so, in the community is a place where correction is necessary when necessary. And it's best when it's done in pairs. Like I said earlier, it's hard to be accountable to just when it's just you, because you'll let you off the hook. You won't challenge you. Oh, Miss Vivian, we got to back up and talk about it. or if you talk about it without telling me. Can we stop doing that, Queens? Let's park right here. Can we please stop having conversations about one another and one another ain't at the table? I operate from this place within my friend group. I've got to be able to trust the relationship. Sherry, what do you mean? I've got to be able to trust the relationship, that if I have a hard conversation, or a hard conversation needs to be had, I have to trust the relationship that it can handle, that it can weather the hard conversation. It should not keep you from having the hard conversation. If I'm too afraid to have a hard conversation, a valid conversation that may be difficult, if it keeps my tongue tied for fear of losing it, that's not community. That is not community. And we have got to let that go. That's right, Mama. It takes a village, family, church, and friends. And if the community cannot have the hard conversation, is it a viable community? Is it viable? Is it valuable? Is it a relevant community? Is it a healthy community? Because a healthy community, a healthy gathering of queens, it can handle the hard thing. It can handle the hard thing because it's coming from a place of love. The premise always is from, you know what? We may disagree, but I know we love one another. And so if we can't agree right now, I know what you said is not to harm me, but it really is to make me better. I may not see that right now, and we may need to table this, but the relationship should be able to handle the hard conversations. Good point. So, it's best done in pairs. Accountability singularly is probably not it's not going to yield you the results that you want, because you are going to let you off the hook. And when you are accountable within the community, you see that? Here's you, here's the community. When you are accountable within the community, all those people, that community has you. It's holding you. Not to harm you, but so that the best you can come forward. So you can't do it alone. Accountability, it's not the likelihood of you getting to where you want to go in the end is probably not going to be. So, accountability in community through vulnerability. That's one of the hardest things, is to be vulnerable, and vulnerable within a group of people. So what is vulnerable? It's just being the most transparent. Y'all know I like words. Somebody get the definition of vulnerable and type it in. But when you are vulnerable, that means you just open, you're exposed, right? It's the raw of you, it's the you of you, and it's being in a place to where you possibly could be judged. You're you're exposed, right? Um, and being vulnerable within a community can be very scary. And so this is one of the things that that if you've ever been vulnerable in community and it hasn't gone well, it's very scarring. It's very traumatic. And I am very big on this. And I heard this explained. It was actually an interview years ago in Essence. Essence did an interview with Tammy Franklin and Kirk Franklin, and they were talking about their marriage and how strong it was. And Tammy made the comment, and she said, "Do y'all see me glistening?" She made the comment that their marriage was strong because no matter what the issue or what needed to be said or what the offense or whatever, she made sure it was a safe place for him to fall. So that was the dynamic that they created, and that has stuck with me. And that article is well over 20 years ago, but it's creating a safe place for people to fall. Can I tell you that we have got to start building communities where people are safe enough to be vulnerable, susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. If I come tell you that I'm struggling with something, can I be vulnerable in the community? To be honest, not to be judged, but so that you can surround me and help pray me through it, help walk me through it, lock arm in arm with me to help me get over it, whatever it is, whether it's I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm sleeping with a bag of chips at night, means emotionally open and exposed, risking hurt, rejection, judgment by sharing your true self. Fit all of this. I'm gonna leave that right up there. Can we start being the community? If we're talking about accountability in community, can we start being the community that creates safe places for people to be vulnerable? Because if they can't lay themselves open, how are they going to get to the end result? How are they going to, and the end result is accomplishing the goal. So if my goal is to lose weight, but I sleep with a bag of Ruffles in my bed, and every time I roll over or get up and go to the bathroom, I'm reaching in the bag of Ruffles. We need to talk about, first of all, why is the bag of Ruffles in the bed? But I need to be able to share. That's something funny. But if I tell you, I was talking to my cousin, and Dagny, that's my own true story. Please no, don't judge me. Help me find out why are we taking the Ruffles to the bed. Let's talk about that, Sherry. But on a serious note, I was talking to my cousin, and she was talking about her girlfriend group, and she said, um, Sherry, we are so accountable to one another that um, one there's a girl in her group, and she didn't name names or anything. She's having a battle with pornography, and what our community is doing is we're praying and fasting for her that she would be delivered from that. Now she younger than me, but the wisdom in that, their community has been shaped and formed for them to come together and be accountable to one another, that this her friend could come and be vulnerable and share something that she's battling. She came to her community for strength because she needs it. Can you imagine what it would be if we had communities, that we were communities for people to be vulnerable, but not just to be vulnerable, but to be able to carry the burden and the weight of that and pray somebody through, to lock arms with someone and help them get over the hurdle. What? Do you know how powerful that would be? So, accountability in community, we have to create safe places for people to be vulnerable. And not just to hear it, but to do something about it. And so, why accountability? Why accountability? That's a question. Why accountability? Is because it strengthens the whole. To be accountable and not judge. Why is that necessary? Because it strengthens the whole. Proverbs 27:17 says it best. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12, it's the story of two are better than one. A cord of three strands is not easily broken. So accountability strengthens. It strengthens the community. It strengthens relationships. It strengthens families. It strengthens churches. So accountability strengthens. It protects from isolation, because remember, that's all the enemy wants. He wants you to be isolated. And when you can't be when you lack accountability, then you just out there doing your own thing. And left to your own devices, please know you are no good. Left to your own self, because there's nothing good that resides in you. Left to your own thoughts, you will be destroyed out here. Because in your mind, you think you moving right. In your mind, you think you're doing right. Or God forbid, you are wrapped up in something that you need deliverance from, and the guilt of that thing, because you're holding it and not leaning into the community, and you're carrying that. It will destroy you and it will isolate you. And please know, all the enemy wants to do is to isolate you. So then he ain't got to deal with the community. If it's just you, he can handle. Remember, this is you. He can handle that. He just got to pick you off. But when you are within community, you see all these other people that the enemy has to deal with just to get to you. Make him work for it. Make the enemy work for it. Don't be easy pickings. Make him work for it. Make him get tired and walk away. Lean into the community. Community helps us persevere. When you're tired, when you are tired, you need to have a community that you can lean in on, so they can either hold you up, They can give you a drink of water. They can feed you. They can uphold you. So, girl, you got this. Girl, come on here. I know you tired, but dust yourself off. Get your little drink of water. Eat this little piece of bread and get on back out here in this game. And let's get it done. It builds being in community builds humility. There's something that will humble you when you are surrounded by people that will go the distance with you. There's something so humbling that you look out and you see people that are willing to help you get it done, to encourage you. You got this, sis. Come on here. Come on. I'll help carry it, but you gonna get it done. There's something so humbling, but so beautiful, so encouraging, so strengthening about that. That's accountability in community, and it keeps the zeal alive. When you are in community, it will keep the zeal alive. When somebody asked me, it was Elder Fulton, as a matter of fact, she was like, now I came in on the live late and you was talking about some journal and we getting ready to do something for 6 weeks. What we getting ready to do? Do you know that made me excited? It's like, oh, you heard that? And oh, you are interested in that? So that made me excited. That's why I finished the journal. That's why I finished it. It is finished, y'all. It's just ready. I want to put a little cover on it, but it's ready. We're gonna talk about that at the end. And then it's just like a fire. You know, a fire, and you put the logs on. You think you're gonna get greater fire with one log or a stack of logs? You're gonna get greater fire with more than one, with multiple logs. The fire is going to be that much more intense when there is multiple logs versus the singular log. That's community. When you are a part of community, you hot. The fire is hot. It burns bigger. It burns brighter. It's better than the singular log over here. And so we gonna land this plane. And so accountability. So this is what we're doing. The last 6 weeks, we are in the last quarter, October 1. That's the last 3 months of the year. And so the journal that I've created, we're going to the focus is around 4 pillars that we're going to talk about. And again, this is building. So we're going to start this 6-week journal. This is just a springboard that's going to help you not only create that gets you back in line with the goals that you set at the beginning of the year. We are going to finish this finish line. We're going to cross this finish line. And we're gonna reignite those things, but it's also going to be the springboard that propels us into 2026. We are going to now start creating those rhythms or those habits that by the time 2026 rolls around, we will be so steeped in those rhythms that we'll be set to move forward into 2026. And so it'll be around these 4 pillars: our health, our money, our devotion time, and then our purpose. And so that's what our 6-week journal will be. Those are the things that we will cover, and it'll be points of reflection. It'll be focus areas for the week, and then every day there's a place for you to a point to ponder, a point of reflection. And then there's some challenges in there. And because it can't always be about head knowledge, it's got to be about action. So that's what the journal is. It's the 6 weeks. And there is a, I'm so excited. There is a oh, I'm losing my train of thought. But there's it's, I can't think of the word. What am I, like a card, for lack of a better word, because I'm losing my train of thought here, but like a accountability card, not accountability, but encouraging card. I'm gonna get my words together, but it's all this wonderful little package. So if you are going to walk, and that's what we'll talk about every for our 6 Sundays that we gather, we'll talk about the week. So we'll talk about the week we came out of, and then we'll set the stage for the upcoming week. And it's six weeks. So if you are interested in the 6 week journal, you just drop your name in the chat. Just say, I want one. It's called Accountable and Anchored, a call to courageous reflection and faithful action. That's the name of the journal. So that's what we will be covering for 6 weeks. So if you want one, just drop your name in the chat. I can send it to you electronically, or if you want a paper one, let me know too. So the paper one, just let me know. All right, Queens, that is what I have. Next week, we are kicking off our 6 week journey to accountability. Anchored, accountable, and anchored. Because once you are you're accountable to the community, it is going to make you anchored. You are going to be steadfast and unmovable, and you're going to grow. You are going to grow, and it's not for the sake of growing. It's not just about you, but there is another queen that needs you to walk with them, that needs you to be community, that needs you as iron to pull out the greatness in them. And I don't know anybody that's great that does not have a community where the community has sharpened them, has held them accountable, has helped shave off the things that they don't need. I don't know anybody that has done great things outside of community. So that's it. That's all I got. I want to tell you this. In a world that seems very cold and very mean and very heavy, the world seems very, very heavy. It is. It doesn't seem. It is very, very heavy. It is so important that we build safe places for people to come, for people to find rest, for people to find a place of comfort and refuge. And so, community is a buzzword right now, but all community is a group of like-minded people that have come together and that are there for one another, in the best of times and the worst of times. And I can't think of any greater time where community is important. So thank you for being a part of my community every Sunday, and week in and week out. Thank you for being the community that keeps coming back every Sunday at 7 o'clock. Thank you for being consistent, a consistent community for me just to be able to share what's on my heart. And so I would, I just want you to know how much you, my community, means to me because you uphold me and you keep me encouraged. And so I appreciate you. So, Queens, just be queens. Have an amazing week. And until I see you, um, just be. Bye.